The fastest way to sell more of your high ticket offer is to stop selling your high ticket offer.
I used to try to sell high ticket offers the exact same way that I would sell a $20 product or a course. And that is exactly why it hardly ever worked. But we discovered one thing that is missing from your offer. And once you add that, you will get 4 times the high ticket sales almost instantly.
What happens is your close rates jump through the roof, the objections disappear, and suddenly more people are asking how to buy than you can even handle. And in this video, we're going to show you exactly what that is so that you can add it to your offer and get more high ticket sales right away.
Okay, so I want to walk you through the math on 2 different businesses where I've hit over $1 million. And the first one is I created an organic deodorant stick that works before any of the big brands were able to figure out how to do it. Made several $1,000,000 through that business, but here's the thing. I had to sell 66,700 deodorant sticks at about $15 to make $1 million. Now let's compare that to photographing weddings, which is another business where I hit 7 figures. So towards the beginning, could make an average of about maybe $2,500 per wedding, but in order to make $1 million, you'd have to shoot 400 weddings. That is way more than I would want to do in any reasonable amount of time. So I applied exactly what we're about to talk about to that business and made it so that instead I had to only shoot 40 weddings, an average of about 25,000 in order to make $1 million. The problem is if you're trying to sell something that is high ticket or ultra high ticket, there's a belief issue. And that belief can come down to 2 people. It's the person who's buying from you who doesn't necessarily believe that it will work for them or that it's a good idea for them. Then the other part, which is just as big oftentimes, is your belief in yourself, in your ability to actually ask for a higher amount of money and think that people are going to say yes. And so a lot of people either just won't do it, or if they do, they're extremely timid about it with, here's the price, here's how much this is. And people can sense that. Money flows to people who are confident. And if you're not confident in what you're offering, you're never going to make the sale. So we're going to solve both of these issues at the same time. You have confidence in yourself, and they'll have confidence that what you offer is for them and will help them and will make your high ticket sales go way up. So let's say that we have a high ticket item up here, high ticket. The issue is people will come up with something that is high priced and they will try to take somebody from cold, a brand new lead right here, we'll say new, and they are just going to offer them this and hope that somebody says yes. But unless you have a lot of experience, unless you've sold a lot of these, unless you know exactly what your ideal target customer is thinking inside their own mind, what they're feeling, everything that they're going through, it's really hard to get traction with that. So instead, we're going to stop selling this. Instead, we're going to sell what I like to call a bridge offer. So we'll say bridge. Now your bridge offer, this is what sells the high ticket offer over here. So we no longer direct people straight to this. Instead, we're going straight to this. And the reason that we do that is when somebody buys your product or hires you to get a specific outcome, there's going to be steps in between where they start and the outcome. And those steps are going to go something like this. And if they don't already know, like, and trust you a lot to begin with, it's really hard for people to just believe all these steps are going to happen and they're actually going to get that outcome. So what we're going to do is something right around here. We're going to call that the bridge offer.
Okay, so a bridge offer is when you solve one specific smaller problem and they solve that problem, right? But now they have all these other problems. It's like when you buy a car, you solve the problem of not having a car, but now you need to get your oil changed. You need to buy gas. There's all these other problems that you have to solve, right? So a great bridge offer solves one problem and then lets the person realize there's still all of these other things that need to be solved.
Now you have proven that you can actually help them by actually helping them. And now that they know, like, and trust you and things are working and they have that feeling of positive momentum, now it's much, much easier to believe that the rest of the steps will work just like you said that it would, why wouldn't it? You showed them the first thing, you did it, you delivered, they're seeing that progress, but more importantly, they're feeling that progress. People make decisions based on how they feel about it. If they feel like this person's helping me win here, this person can help me win with the next step and the next step after that. And that's where they have the belief, they have the feeling, and they see the clear path and understand, yes, that will work for me. And it's so much easier for them to say yes. So typically the bridge offer is going to be a relatively low price, but super high value, so that it's a no-brainer to get people to come in and say yes, get that result. But the thing to think about is not only do we want it to be a quick win, we also want it to outline what the rest of the path looks like to get them to the bigger outcome that they want. That is the key part. It can't just be a random thing that they're buying and then you have an unrelated thing. It needs to be something along the path that also makes it clear what is the rest of the path, how does that work, so that they understand why it's important and they believe that that will work for them and their situation. So once you have that, setting up the pitch for the next thing, people will ask you for your help to do that and for a payment link and how to move forward with things, which is exactly what you want. And to give you an example of that, going back to the wedding photography example, it was really difficult to make more than $3,000 or $4,000 per wedding. And like I said, we were averaging about $2,500. The issue with photography is if somebody hired me to shoot a wedding, they're going to be thinking, that's cool. I've seen your photos. They look good. But am I going to look like that? Are you going to be able to do that with me? There's a lot of self-conscious issues and everything. And I know that because I hired people myself. And even when I saw everything that they did, I still had that doubt about my own self. And so hiring somebody up front and committing to buy lots of things to hang on the walls, albums, all sorts of things like that, no way am I going to do that because I have no idea if any of this is going to turn out well. So the solution to that, the bridge offer, was just commission for shooting the wedding itself and then walk them through, now that the photos exist, you know if you like them. And then I would say, okay, here's your images, here's what everything looks like. But if I were you, here's how I would put them in an album. Here's what the design would be. Here's what all the pages would be. Here's a photo of your living room. Here's what this would look like hanging up big over the couch. And here's what would look really good next to it. They could visually see all of the ideas with their face and their event on it. Then they could fall in love with it and know exactly what they were saying yes to. And sales went up between 10 and 15 times higher than they were almost instantaneously. And so that's how it worked in that service-based business. But now we apply the exact same concept to digital products, coaching products, online service-based business. And it works absolutely fantastic.
So I made over $2.5 million selling a very low ticket challenge. The challenge itself was less than $10. And after they took the challenge, there was a course that was $2,500 and a lot of damn people bought that course. We sold out our $15,000 high-level mentorship program because of my book. My book cost, I think, $12, and we sold the book. We held a little book club every week, and we pitched our inner circle. The inner circle sold out because of that book club. We have a little course called Filmed and Finished, where you learn how to batch a month's worth of content in one weekend. In the Filmed and Finished course, we pitched our in-person content creation workshop in Atlanta and sold that out as well. These are so powerful when done correctly.
So think about what problem you solve for people, what you help them do. What is your high ticket offer and the outcome of that people expect? And think of what is the first big win that you could deliver in a short period of time that gives them that feeling, gives them that momentum, gives them that belief, while also showing the rest of the path, and they just feel like, yes, this person just helped me win. I know that they can help me win bigger. If you get that piece right, you will have more people asking how to buy your high ticket offer than you even have capacity to take on. And at that point, you have the freedom and flexibility to choose who you work with, and when you work and where you work. And it's an amazing place to be. So put that together, and before you know it, you'll start seeing sales come in like crazy. So that's how you get as many high ticket sales as you want. But how do you sell more of your bridge offer? If you need help with that, then you probably want to check out our video, The 3 Types of Instagram Posts That Actually Get Sales. And you can check that one out right here.